All right, listen up. This is a Code Ninja security advisory, and it is urgent. We're talking about CVE 2026-20045. It's a critical, zero-day vulnerability in Cisco's Unified Communications systems. And the key thing here is it's being actively exploited right now. So let's cut to the chase and get straight to what you need to know. So, the reason we're putting this out is to give you immediate situational awareness. We want to arm you with the actionable intel you need to protect your core communications infrastructure. Our goal here is simple: lay out the facts and give you a clear, no-nonsense defense protocol.
And let me be crystal clear about this. This is not some theoretical what-if scenario. No way. Cisco, CISA, and a whole bunch of independent researchers have all confirmed it. This thing is being actively probed and weaponized out in the wild as we speak. The bad guys are already using this. They're on the move.
So what exactly are we dealing with here? Well, imagine this. An attacker, sitting anywhere on the network, needs 0 credentials. That's right, no username, no password. They just send a sequence of specially crafted messages to your communication servers, and boom, they can run any command they want. We're talking a full system takeover, escalating their privileges all the way up to root. It's the keys to the kingdom. Okay, so let's pop the hood and do a quick technical autopsy. You really need to understand how this works to appreciate just how urgent this is. This is the root of the problem, literally. At its core, this is a classic code injection flaw, what we call a CVE-94. It all boils down to the system just not checking its homework. It fails to properly validate the information it's getting from user requests sent to the web management interface. So an attacker can send some malicious, specially crafted requests, get their foot in the door with user-level access, and from there it's a straight shot to escalating their privileges to root. Now this is where things get really interesting. You look at the numbers, right? The official CVSS score is 8.2, which is high. But look at Cisco's rating. They've bumped it all the way up to critical. And you have to ask, why the override? Well, it's because a successful exploit here isn't just about stealing some data. It leads directly to the highest level of control you can get, full root access. That completely changes the game and the entire risk calculation. All right, so who's in the line of fire? Let's talk about the blast radius. Knowing what's vulnerable is absolutely critical. It's how you're going to prioritize your defenses and point your response teams in the right direction. Okay, take a hard look at this list. If your organization relies on any of these systems for your phones, your voicemail, your messaging, you are directly in the crosshairs. We're talking about the absolute backbone of enterprise communications, and that, of course, makes them incredibly high-value targets. Now, on the flip side, there is some good news. If your teams are managing these products here, things like Contact Center Enterprise or Finesse, you can breathe a small sigh of relief. These have been confirmed to be safe from this specific threat. And that's great because it means you can focus all your energy where it's actually needed. Okay, let's get to the most important part of this entire briefing, your defense protocols. This is your immediate action plan. This is what you need to be doing right now to protect your network. And here's the hard truth, and there's no way to sugarcoat this. There are no workarounds. 0. No clever configuration change, no temporary mitigation. For CVE 2026-20045, patching isn't just a good idea. It's not optional. It is the only way to fix this. So you have to be really precise with your patching strategy. Let's break it down. If you're running version 12.5 or anything older, you're on an end-of-life release. You have to migrate to a supported version, and you have to do it now. For everyone else on release 14 or 15, your path is to either upgrade to the specific sustained update, the SU version, or apply the specific patch files that Cisco has pushed out. Make sure you check the official advisory to get the right fix for your exact version. Look, I get it. Sometimes you just can't patch immediately. If you are absolutely stuck and cannot patch today, there is one emergency stopgap measure you can take. Your only option is to completely isolate the management interface. Lock it down. Use your firewalls, use access control lists, and make absolutely sure that only a handful of trusted admin IPs can even see it. But let me be clear, this is not a fix. It's a temporary shield that might reduce your exposure while you get ready to patch. Now, you might be thinking this is just a really strong recommendation from us or from Cisco. It's not. For a lot of organizations out there, dealing with this threat has just become a legal obligation. There's a ticking clock, and it's getting loud. And this is the date you need to burn into your memory. February 11th, 2026. That's the deadline. The U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, that's CISA, has put their foot down. This is the mandatory remediation date for all federal civilian executive branch agencies. So what CISA did was add this vulnerability to its Known Exploited Vulnerabilities catalog, the KEV list. And that's a big deal. It's the government's way of officially saying, yes, this is a real active threat. This one little action automatically triggers something called a binding operational directive. And just like it sounds, it turns this from helpful advice into a direct order for all federal agencies. So what if you're not a federal agency? What if you're in the private sector? Well, while that directive isn't legally binding on you, that KVS listing, it effectively sets the standard of care. Think about it. If you choose to ignore this deadline, you are consciously accepting a level of risk that the U.S. government itself has officially labeled as unacceptable for its own critical systems. That's a tough position to defend. And one last thing, and this is crucial. Patching is just step one. Don't high-five and call it a day. Remember, this was a 0-day being used in the wild, so your job is not done once that patch is deployed. The most critical question you have to ask your team is, okay, were we breached before we fixed it? You have to go on the hunt. Look for those indicators of compromise. Dig through your logs for weird HTTP requests. Watch for any strange processes or network traffic coming from these servers. Your defense isn't truly complete until you can say with confidence that your systems are clean. Stay vigilant.